The following episode of the Maui Chamber of Commerce's Business Matters was originally broadcast on November 22nd, 2022.
Good morning. It's time for Business Matters radio show with Maui Chamber of Commerce President Pam Tumpop. Good morning, Pam.
Hey, Gary. Good morning. So great to be with you. Thank you for all you do to help out our show and be our production person. You make everything wonderful for us. I just want to welcome everybody to Business Matters Radio Show today, sponsored by Mokulele Airlines. I'm your host, Pamela Tumpop, President of the Maui Chamber of Commerce. And today we're going to speak with our re-elected council member for Upcountry, Yuki Sugimura, to get an update on Access Deer and next steps. We're going to speak with Jennifer Salisbury about tiny homes and an interesting container home product that she has available. And we're going to talk about shopping reminders for this holiday weekend. But first, it's great to welcome Council Member Yuki Sugimura, who now, let's say, Yuki, with this new term, you're going to be going into how many years as a council member?
Fourth. This is my fourth term.
This is so exciting. So we're going into her fourth year, and just
fourth term.
Such a great time. You've been doing such amazing work for Upcountry and, of course, for our entire county. Sometimes people forget that our council members are elected by the entire community because they serve our entire county, but they represent different districts. And you've been representing very well a district with some significant challenges, being access deer, and growing populations of access deer that we're now working hard to diminish. Tell us about, I know you've got some good news and some new reports on what's happening with access deer and the counts.
Yeah, so the big news is that on November 18th, Governor Ige issued the fifth emergency proclamation to help with the access deer overpopulation on Maui County. So Maui, Molokai, and Lanai can use the emergency proclamation to help with the devastation and damage that the access deer is doing in their community. So we're thrilled. This is the fifth proclamation, and when I received it, I tried to send it to different organizations. So if anybody wants a copy of it, if they think they can use it with their business, which you can, then please notify me or notify. I guess maybe I can send it to you, Pam, also.
Absolutely. We'll definitely post it on the Chamber's website. Yeah, absolutely, because this is great news, because we're really in an emergency state. And people are now, within the last 2 weeks, I've heard 4 or 5 stories and seen deer on the side of the road myself. Yeah, they're there. So according to MPD, Maui Police Department, our incidents of access deer collisions or having accidents caused by access deer has increased 200%. From last year to this year. What was that percentage again, Yuki?
According to the Maui Police Department, the access deer accidents that have been reported with car collisions is up 200%. 200%.
So, wow.
Yeah, so they're around, and we all see them, right?
Yes.
And we hear them at night. They sing to us their songs. But so they're around. So the number that we just received from the emergency proclamation data from Governor Ige, and I'm sure this came from Department of Land and Natural Resources, is that the overpopulation has grown to approximately 60,000 or more. And, of course, they have devastated pasture, forage, and vegetation that are already scarce because of the continuing drought conditions. So we have 2 very serious situations happening, and that this emergency proclamation would help those ranchers and farmers to deal with this overpopulation.
Yes.
So, it'll help them when they get permits. They can use this when they process permits and work within the government system to
Well, You know,
get their
I want to
drought
mention,
mitigations
you've
done.
also, my apologies, go ahead.
No, that's it.
Oh, I wanted to also mention that, you know, you secured funding to also help
Yes.
farmers and ranchers, and I know Lokahi Pacific has been giving out those grants, which has been a tremendous help for many
Yeah,
folks.
so Lokahi Pacific was a budget amendment done by Mayor Victorino, and it was a $1.5 million budget amendment to allow for additional funding for fencing or whatever landowners could, wanted to apply for, up to $30,000. So Susie Seaman has done a great job in terms of awarding all that money out, and I hope that we see some new funding come with the new term. But new term means July 1 of next year. We do have some existing funding that is being implemented also in addition to the 1.5 by the Office of Economic Development for additional grant funding. And by now, in this time of the year, with July 1, with the start of the fiscal year, OED, Office of Economic Development, has had information sessions on how to apply for that grant funding. But I do hope that Lanai, Molokai, and Maui, there are organizations that will apply for the grants to do the additional mobile slaughterhouse that we keep on hearing about, or trapping mechanisms, to help with this overpopulation.
Yeah. I think it's critically important, and that's one of the big holdups. Well, first of all, I'm glad to know that OED has more money, because I do know that there are, even with the funding through Susie, and again, trying to divide it up and spread it out, with the $1.5 million, a lot of the large acreage landowners, that helps with some fencing, but not doesn't necessarily solve the whole problem. So to know there's more fencing funding or other funding to help people, that's really important. The mobile slaughterhouse is critical. And Jake Muse
we need another one.
We need another one. Jake's been doing a great job.
And
the quick slaughter of the animal is very important. The other thing is we need to deal with the regulation of how we can cull the deer, and we have some extraordinary regulations in Hawaii that are not seen across the country, and some people have believed that those were USDA regulations. But we've had a meeting with USDA, and USDA has said, well, we're USDA, meaning our regulations are across the nation. So those are Hawaii regulations that we need to overcome. And we have a requirement of one shot to the head, which is a tougher shot to take than a shot to the heart. And so there are ways and legislative things that we need to look at this year that, we look to work with you on. The Chamber's certainly going to be proposing regulation on how we can better cull these animals and increase the viability of how we do that. The inspectors required have been problematic. We're also looking to work on changing legislation so that they, like other states, we can protect those who donate the meat from liability issues, because there are organizations like Feed My Sheep who are ready to handle a lot of that. And look to work with the state on ways to get some economic development funding to create products.
Yeah.
Because we are looking at this as a sustainable solution.
I believe this month, sometime, Pam, Foodland will be selling venison.
Yes.
I think it's already being sold in Paia town, and there's that. And I hear about restaurants that have venison burgers. So there's that kind of floating in the air, but it's floating in the air. Being provided. But I think that there is a call for more that can be done, which I'm hoping that the Maui Chamber will help us get there.
We're going to help you get there, because we have partners who want to work. We have people who want to recognize that how do we use every part of the deer? That the deer now create, this, what we can go from something that's been a pest to looking at the deer as an amazing resource, and how can this be part of our sustainability plan? We've got manufacturers. We've got people who already sew deerskin purses, as an example, and we know there's ways to create low-lying things like some improved mulch and, of course, deer meat and possibly dog food, but create markets for the deer meat so that people who come here can learn about the access to your challenges and want to buy from one of our phenomenal chefs an amazing deer meat meal, knowing that they're giving back and contributing to something that's been a challenge. I've been talking to many people, and they're excited about it. And with our international cuisines here and our amazing award-winning chefs, people are really excited to see where this goes. And we're pleased to partner with you on our grant to work on. We've got a website that's in the works. We've got a new brand to educate people about deer issues. We want people to understand that hitting a deer is very different than other types of accidents. So now we really got to look for those signs where there's deer that says, hey, be aware of the deer. When you're up country Maui, drive slower. You need the space because you never know where the deer are going to jump out from.
Yeah.
So we really have to be more careful. And we're putting together a website to tell you all the things that you're going to need to know, like, what do I do if I hit a deer, or what do I do if I see a deer that's dying on the side of the road, or
Great.
Because we're getting there. I mean, we're getting there. We're there now. More, like you said, more are hearing the deer sing to them. More are hearing deer that are dying, crying out because they've been hit by a car, and so they make noise when they're injured, and people are starting to worry about how do we navigate this. And we've got a website in the works, and there are so many people, part of the task force that you put together, Yuki, that are unified in solutions and
goals,
educating people from different perspectives.
Yes.
And
so
everybody's come
that's
together.
Where. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all.
No, so I think that's where the task force has been informational, but it also has put everybody who has the same goal on the table to try to see how we can work through the many problems. So the Hawaii Farm Bureau is going to be introducing bills, Pam, as well as you. Hopefully they can all work together. You have some of the same goals. So, I look forward to the next legislative session. I think Senator Linda Coit has been very instrumental in helping us with this overpopulation of the deer problem here, and has helped with providing funding with with our Maui delegation, so with Senator Gil Agaran, as well as Kyle, Yamashita, Representative Yamashita, and Troy Hashimoto.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty good team on at the legislature, and I look forward to working with them and with you so that we can work on this overpopulation problem that we have here on Maui County.
Yeah, well, you have done an amazing job. I so appreciate the task force that you've organized and all the work you've been doing on the legislative side. Know that the Chamber is here to stand with you and continue to be involved in the task force, but also legislatively, and to help rally other troops and garner more community support. But the good news is that from all angles, there were a time when our environmental groups had some concerns about culling deer, but now people have seen the devastation to the watersheds and to the environment. So we're all unified. I want people to really understand that everybody's really unified in this solution. And the exciting thing is that we're not just looking at it as how do we control a pest, but how do we control a pest, but while looking at it as a sustainable solution and new sustainable avenue for our economic development.
Yes.
and as a resource. And
yeah, that's the exciting part. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And again, it's people love deer meat. It's great, healthy meat. People like Feed My Sheep. They're ready. They got the freezer space. They've been gearing up for 10 years, hoping to get there.
Wonderful.
So it's everything's kind of converging now. Unfortunately, we're seeing big numbers, but things are coalescing, and we want the community to get excited about this. And we'll have on the website soon. We're going to have a meeting, I know, soon to talk to the task force and start bringing people in to add information to the website. But it's underway, and then we will also have a place for the entire community to share ideas and thoughts or let us know about things. But we're going to also give you all resources to know if you see a deer or if you know of an injured deer, or one's on the side of the road, where to call, where to go, and give you avenues to help you feel empowered and part of the solution.
Yeah, I'll give you some of the numbers that I have, phone numbers that I have accumulated, and pass it on to you so you can add it to your website.
That would be perfect.
So, good job.
Yeah. We're ready to start inputting all data and get something up right away.
Thank you.
So very excited about that, and excited to continue discussions with manufacturers, and again, work with the team. Farm Bureau has always been a great leader in this effort, and it's been critical for them. Of course, the deer have done tremendous damage, and homeowners are starting to see it now. We're in Pukalani starting to see the deer crossing the roads and eating. The interior roads now, because they're crossing from the golf course, and starting to eat people's gardens. And it's going to be interesting. And even though we're not doing a lot of watering up country right now, the challenge is deer are very clumsy animals. So they break irrigation lines and they trip over things. And so the damage they cause even for homeowners can be significant. So we want to all be on the watch for that.
Yeah, it's very, very devastating.
Yeah.
And we get calls from both, right? So from, small businesses and, large ranch owners. I've talked to them, and yeah, they're everywhere. So our goal is to try to mitigate the numbers, and hopefully we win the war. Right now, we're not winning the war.
Yeah. Well, you have put a system in place. I really want to thank you and hope people recognize the tremendous work you've done to start putting the system in place, to start unearthing some of the hindrances that had not really been well known, and now we're getting laser focused on what can we do to move forward, and what are the critical resources like the slaughterhouse that we need to increase capacity, and the work that we need to do this legislative session. So thank you for all of that.
Right.
You've been
and we need
such
to find
a great
more
champion.
funding. I don't know how we ever find enough, but we need to find more funding. So hopefully our friends at the state can provide more funding for the mitigation of the overpopulation of this access deer problem.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the right, pushing in the right direction.
We are. And you working with the governor to secure that emergency proclamation, that helps, because again it says this is a crisis state, so we have to look at these things at a higher level and look at how we prioritize in our state addressing crises so that they don't grow. Yeah.
So, thank you. So before I get off the air, I just wanted to announce the Pukalani Golf Course Christmas Parade, if I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're amazing. So I think this is the 4th annual, and it's happening on December the 4th. December the 3rd. Yeah, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Pukalani Country Club. And great job, a lot of fun. This is the 4th annual, and they're looking right now for more golf cart entries. So thank you very much for letting me announce that.
Yeah, well, we want to thank you for putting together funding to bring this great community event together. It is a free event, but to do the golf cart, I think it's $50 to do the golf cart and be part of the electric golf cart parade. It's a great
fun.
team building experience, family experience. We have families with parents and children decorating golf carts, and two can ride in the golf cart, but we've had there's been a request this year for people to be able to you can have groups walk along the side and sing or dance. It's just a hoot and a half, and businesses love it because it's a great team building exercise, and their teams can be proud of seeing their golf cart. And there are awards that are given out, so you get some bragging rights if you win. But the point is, a starry night in Pukalani. They make specialty cocoa and drinks from the golf course restaurant, and then there's other fun things to do for the kids, just to run around the golf course and enjoy some fun activities.
It really is, so it's fun. One of the things that I did last year is, I don't know why I didn't think about lighting up my golf cart. So as the night went on, my golf cart was going through the parade, and it was dark, right, where others were well lit. So I just want to throw that in. It was a great Santa golf cart display that we had that disappeared.
You need lighting.
You need lighting at night. So, but
battery operated
thank you
lighting.
Very much.
Yeah, some people think they can pull from the golf cart. Battery power, but you do need your own battery operated lighting. But those are easy to find: Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, many other stores, Marmackey's Hardware, and others. So look for some battery operated lighting, and it's fun. I know time's getting near though now, so it's time to be looking for the battery operated lighting. And we see amazing carts. Oh my gosh, I mean, we've seen Maui Electric one year created their engineering department, had little windmills, and they powered their own windmill power and powered all their own lights from their mini windmills on their cart. It was fascinating. So people really get into it. We love to see the exciting ideas, and we've just seen so many fun things. The Grinch and big holiday present towers on the golf course. It's amazing what people do. Yeah,
it's fun. It's a really fun event. So thank Pukalani Country Club, Pukalani Community Association for coming up with this creative idea and for seeing this through. Did we take a break through COVID? I think because of COVID we couldn't do it one year, but we're back last year, they are back last year, and then going gangbusters for this year. So see everybody on December the 3rd, and from 4 to 7, it's a free event, as you said, but it's kind of good fun, good for the family.
It's great for the family. Thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for supporting that event. It couldn't happen without you, so we appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Yuki. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. We'll do it again soon.
Okay. Bye, Pam.
Bye. All right. We're going to take a brief commercial break to hear from our sponsor, Mokulele Airlines.
Mokulele Airlines operates the largest commuter airline hub in the country, right here in Kahului. Fly Mokulele from Kahului to Molokai, Lanai, Hana, Waimea, Kona, and now Hilo. Mokulele also operates the only flights between Kapalua and Honolulu. There is never a middle seat on Mokulele, and every seat has a window and aisle. Visit mokuleleairlines.com and take your next flight from the newly renovated Mokulele Terminal.
Welcome back to Business Matters Radio Show. Pam, what's going on now?
Contractors, developers, they sort of do it all. They've been looking at new products in the arena of tiny homes and working hard to find solutions for Maui County for years in the housing arena. They, like many, have seen significant challenges for their workers, where workers don't have housing, and it's very frustrating for them when they're doing developments like Paradise Ridge and housing others, and recognizing that there's such a big need for housing right now, and that so many of our workers are actually and unfortunately sleeping in their cars for one reason or another. They've lost the place that they were renting. Either it became unaffordable or it was sold. We're seeing workers migrate to the mainland, and Jen has contacted us and said, gosh, what are some of the things that can be done, and what are some of the solutions the community is looking at? But she's been working with us on some unique solutions, but she was working on this for a while now and has created a market for these unique tiny homes. And so, Gary, is Jen on with us?
Jen, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, Jen. Well, I was just saying how you've been working on solutions and are now sharing those with us on some of the project ideas that we're looking at for creating housing and roofs over people's heads given this crisis situation. But you've been working on this for a while and have amazing container home solutions. So good morning, and I'd love to have you share what you've been doing with our audience. Jen, are you there? Oh, I think we lost Jen.
Looks like we lost her. Hang on.
Okay, but I'm sure she'll call right back. So while we reconnect with Jen,
here we go.
I know that Jen is, I think, heading towards Kihei, and I know Kihei had some power outages yesterday, so I'm hoping everything's good. But as Jen calls back in, just want to share a little bit about what she's been doing.
Jen is back.
They've been working on solutions to provide a tiny home solution that's affordable, that people can install, and it can be installed where it's mobile, it can roll on or off, but it could also be set up in more of a permanent way so that people can enjoy a pull-out home where you've got different rooms and different amenities right within this pull-out container. Jen, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay, great. I was just saying that you've been working on containers with pull-out. So tell everybody about the products that you're now offering.
So they're 20-foot containers, but they can be 30 or 40-foot containers. Most popular at the moment is 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and it comes nested inside of a shipping container. In fact, if you do two 20-foot expandable tiny homes, two can come in one 40-foot container. And inside this nested container, when it's shipped, is all the double-glazed windows, the flooring, the cabinets, the trim, crown molding, and the cabinets include upper cabinets as well, because most temporary solutions don't include an upper cabinet. So you have more of a kitchen setup, but it's not a kitchen. It's more like a bar sink setup. But it's all nested inside. And so you open up this little 20-foot container, and it's really incredible that it all unfolds out, pops out on both sides, and then you can finish it on the inside. The inside looks like drywall. Like I said, you can do base trim, crown molding. In the bathroom, there's a pre-plumbed, ready-to-go bathroom with a shower, medicine cabinet, vanity sink. It's in the back of this center console. So when you open it up, that's the first thing you're going to see is the bathroom in the back. It's a very interesting solution to a problem that we've got in housing here in the islands. Very interesting solution indeed.
I was floored when we came out to see it.
I'm at North Pine Break Road, and a pig ran by.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we were talking about access here earlier. I can hear the pig still going. Oh, my goodness.
Would have been a perfect tie into Yuki if it had been a deer, but it wasn't a deer. That was a pig.
Well, believe me, we still have pig issues. We are working on feral animal solutions comprehensively.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we were just, I was floored to come out and see it, and Council Member Tashikama and Evan came out as well, and to come to your site and see it set up. We were able to look at the 2-bedroom unit, so it allowed for for parents to have a queen size bed or a nice size bed in there, and you could have two twins in the children's room, and a restroom right in the unit, which was it had a shower and a toilet and a sink in the bathroom, and then a kitchen area. And room for, in front of the kitchen area, like a little dining space, as well as when you do the pull-out, you've got this nice living room space. And we were talking about, as we look at these units, they're a great solution for housing for our residents. They're a great solution for agriculture workers as well.
Right.
And that when you have a setup like this, you can even advise on what size furniture fits and show people examples of, look, this is what fits in here, which is so important to see these kinds of models and understand different uses. Tell us a little bit about how you see these being used as not just temporary homes, but people being able to live in them for long periods of time, and solutions in ag and other areas in our workforce housing as well.
Right. So, first of all, let's address longevity. This is not a brick and mortar house, and so you've got quite a bit of maintenance. You've got quite a bit of upkeep that will help make these tiny homes last a long time. But it's not a traditional brick and mortar home, and so you've got if you've got a maintenance program, which of course Michael and I do, and we've got one of these tiny homes at our house. Like, we've got it set up, and it's my office. But it's an interesting solution when you're talking. The one that you saw, Pam, and that Tasha Kama saw, is a 2-bedroom solution, and so one of the sides that expands out has a wall that swings, and that's the divider between the two bedrooms. So there's a door into each bedroom. But the other layout that comes is that there's no wall, and it's just one large bedroom. Now, Michael and I anticipating, we have these on island now. Like, we have some on island because we are anticipating that folks are going to want to know this. But when you're talking with, did I lose you? There we are. When you're talking agriculture solutions, you've got folks who want ready housing, so they're, quite frankly, so their employees are not living in their cars. And
right.
that's what we're finding, even Michael and I, our own crew, living in their cars. I'm not sure what else we wanted to go into for agriculture.
Well, I think the key thing, what's exciting is you've also, first, I want to have you share how quickly they can be brought in and how quickly they can be set up. And then let's talk a little bit about, again, for ag solutions, as well as workforce housing, what can be done on above-ground septic. Oh, I think I just lost Jen again. Okay, I know she'll call back in. But Jen has also been working on, again, how we look at this as complete solutions. So in areas like agriculture where you could put up this worker housing, and there are new solutions for upcountry for, water, of course, and septic are huge issues in upcountry Maui, which is where a lot of our major agricultural resides. So she's been working on above-ground solutions that then tie in to these types of units. Jen, are you back with us?
I'm back. Hi. I'm gonna park. That'll solve a lot of this.
Awesome. Okay, well, talk to us a little bit about how you can, how long it takes to order these in, how long it takes to set them up on the site, and
Sure.
a little bit about some of the above-ground water and septic solutions that you have so that they can go in places like upcountry Maui where water and sewer are such huge challenges.
Okay. Well, so if we just start today, it takes somewhere around 100 days, somewhere between 3 and 4 months, depending on, depending on travel, depending on all this. I will tell you, they come out of China. That's not a very nice word right now, but that is where they come from. And then as they're shipped in, then of course we are having to work with inter-island delivery, and we've got several amazing partners that help us with that. And then by the time it hits Kahului Harbor, and I'm talking either a 20-foot shipping container or most likely a 40-foot shipping container that one or more of these expandable homes would be in, they can be delivered almost from Young Brothers, almost from there right to the site. Now, that's making the assumption that the site is flat, it's accessible, it's ready to receive, and we've got a couple of tricks that we do to offload these tiny homes right onto sites that are prepared. Now, if you're out at Kahakaloa and it's, a 45-degree slant and you can barely get up there, it might be a little different story. But if we're talking ag up country, most of the time it's not difficult to get up there. Now, that's not to say we haven't had issues doing that. So,
and if we've got a flat site and once it's delivered, how long does it take to kind of get it pulled out and set up and connected to like power and the water and septic systems that you folks can share with us?
So to unfold it happens actually pretty quickly, and then to put the base trim in and crown molding and set up the cabinets and to finish it out, it takes several days to make sure that's done properly, to make sure that it's all set up, to make sure the windows are installed right. Because there's quite a bit of moving pieces when it comes, bundled up in that center container, all bundled up. It comes all together. So it can take, let's say it takes a week, again, assuming that the site is ready, assuming that everything's flat, ready to receive. And, and then you've got other issues like tie-ins, like water and sewer and power and cable. I mean, some of these infrastructure questions are not easy.
Right, which is why we're working with government at county and state levels to look at how we work on some of these things and expedite them, because we're in a crisis, and these are great solutions for that. Tell us a little bit about what the above ground water and sewer solutions can look like to get something started quickly.
Well, if you're on ag and you want to do catchment, if you're in an area that you can do catchment, that's certainly an option for potable water, right? And that can that can be relatively quick to get, and I say relatively quick, it could still take a month or two, but materials-wise, suppliers here on Maui are pretty good. I haven't had too long of delays. In the middle of COVID, we had some delays, but we planned for those delays. The delays are sort of gone, except for the normal delays that we get here on Maui. And then as far as above-ground tanks for black water, if you have an above-ground tank for black water that can be pumped, there you go. And then solar panels. Now, of course, it depends on, I say solar panels, but I have to be careful because my sales team is very heavily involved in solar technology, and so they say, Jen, don't say one solar panel will power your tiny home, because that's just not reality.
No. Panels plural, yes.
Right? So it's dependent on your usage. It's dependent on what you want to use for what you've got plugged in. It depends. So but let's turn this on its head a little bit, Pam. A traditional brick and mortar home right now, with a piece of dirt and permit and just a small little ohana. Let's say it's a 400 square foot ohana. you're easily going to be $400,000 or $500,000 easily, depending on different circumstances. But if you're talking one of these expandable tiny homes, the rule of thumb that Mike and I use, just ballpark, making all these assumptions, is just over $100,000.
Right.
Now, that's way more affordable and quick than the traditional housing. Now, again, I go back to maintenance. If you're gonna invest in one of these expandable tiny homes, you got to maintain it, or it won't last very long. But if you maintain it, which we do, it looks great. It's clean. It's going to last a long time. We've got one that we've had for almost 3 years now, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They from what we saw, I mean, it's sturdy. It's more sturdy. You think some of these things, the solutions, you think, well, they're not really. How sturdy is that going to be, or how big is that going to be? What is the square footage when you pull out that container and pull out the two sides? What is the square footage for that?
So it's just under 400 square feet. And I'm talking the 20-foot expandable container. So again, it's 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and then the two sides expand 8 feet on either side. So roughly 20 by 24, roughly. And then we also have a 30-foot model and a 40-foot model that comes bigger with bigger bedrooms, different layouts depending on what you need. But again, it's all the same concept where everything is nested in the center and comes in a shipping container that you then unfold, unpack, and finish.
Yeah, it really is amazing, folks, to see. It's one of those things that, honestly, I was really surprised to see it. It's you're walking on it. It feels sturdy. You've got beautiful windows. You've got doors. It's a pretty elegant solution for the price. It's one of the more elegant solutions I've seen in that price range. Unless people are builders themselves and create these tiny homes themselves, and are master builders and know how to do all the appropriate trim and beautiful cabinets and things. It's really hard to do something like this at this price point, and yet, the solution we saw can house a family of 4. Or you could have maybe added another person or two with a pull-out couch. There was definitely a couch in the living room. So it just shows you some possibilities and new thinking in this time of crisis that are pretty exciting. Jen, tell everybody about your new place where they can come up and see you and how they can learn more about these amazing container homes.
Well, we just signed the lease yesterday, Old Haleakala Highway, and we're hoping we don't even have our sales office there yet, but we will soon. December 1st is when we're going to actually start transitioning our sales office and unpack and finish one of our own 20-foot tiny homes right on Old Haleakala Highway, just Malka of Minute Stop is where we're going to be, and it could very well be someone's residence. We're not going to live in it, but we're going to use it so people can touch and feel and see for themselves and go, wow, these are double glazed windows. This is really comfortable. I can fit my family in here. Pretty interesting that we're going to have a physical location beyond at my house, right? I have one at my house, but an older model, but this is going to be one of the newer ones. And like I said, we have several on island now, so this will be a very quick setup for us. We just need to transfer it from another property and set it up. Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us about the website. Give them the website before we have to go, and let them know how they can look up some of these units and learn more.
Sure. ReadyTinyHomes.com, Ready Tiny Homes. And our sales team, we have an on-island sales team, like I mentioned, that has been studying solar and tiny home solutions. Our phone number is 808-818-8995, 808-818-8995, and that's us. I mean, it's our Hanai family that's supporting this. It doesn't get more mom and pop, and we are here on island.
Absolutely, and you're doing amazing things and are constantly working on solutions for our community in so many different ways. Jen, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. It's been great to have you on, and I truly appreciate not only all of your service with nonprofits in the community, with the construction industry of Maui, with the Chamber of Commerce, and of course now on your own looking for solutions for housing for your workers and the workers of others. Great job, Ed. This is a phenomenal solution, and we appreciate your tremendous investment of time and energy to come up with something that really can help.
Oh, mahalo. Thank you, Pam. Great to see you at Feed My Sheep last week at the Business After Hours. That was fun. Thank you.
Oh, it was our pleasure. We were so thrilled to support that organization. Thank you for your tremendous support that night. And we were starting with a mini fundraiser to kick off some of their big vision that's going to truly benefit our community, and I appreciate you being a part of it.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll talk to you again soon.
Indeed.
Have a great day. All right. Well, I just wanted to, as we say goodbye to Jen, and I really want to encourage you to go to the website, look up these container homes, see if it's something that you might be able to use. It is another model. It's really important, and the Chamber is working on exploring different models so we have different tools for different kinds of housing needs. This is a great model that supports families. There are some things that we've been looking at that are tiny sheds that just put a roof over somebody's head. Single males is one of the largest unhoused populations. But we're working on solutions, and I really want to thank Councilmember Tasha Kama, and she's brought together a group of people, including us, where we're looking on ways to get roofs over people's heads so that at a minimum people have a comfortable place to sleep without worrying about having to be moved or being in inappropriate areas, where they can shower and where they can use the restroom and feel human with a good night's sleep. This is critically important. And we need to also protect families. We've got some families in jeopardy. So we're working on this and encourage you to want to work on this too. There's going to be new things coming forward always. And it's time that we support housing and a variety of different types of housing units to deal with this crisis. But I wanted to let you know this is a big shopping weekend. And first of all, I want to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving Day holiday. While we have a lot going on in our community, and we've kind of talked about some, the housing crisis, and we've talked about access deer and that issue, but we also live in beautiful Maui, Nui, and we are so blessed. So let us take time this Thanksgiving to give thanks. And, of course, Thanksgiving is also followed by multiple shopping days to prepare for the holiday season. So on Friday, November 25th, that is going to be Black Friday. So great shopping deals on Black Friday. Shop Small, which was started by American Express across the country. We always encourage people to shop small, shop local. We benefit our local community. So we want to really encourage everybody to get out and shop small this Saturday. That would be 11/26. And you might recall that that is also followed by Cyber Monday, which started out more as a tech thing, where people started buying more tech deals on Cyber Monday. But we find that throughout the holiday season, I've even seen people who have been promoting their Black Friday sales over a week ago. So great holiday shopping. But remember, shop small, shop local, and find our Made in Maui County Festival vendors. If you didn't get to come out to the 9th Annual Festival, which was a great success, come back. They're still online. We're going to be promoting them throughout the year and reminding you at holiday season that you can get extraordinary gifts from our local manufacturers right here in Maui County, who love sharing their treasures with you and who love connecting with our local community. And you're going to see things that just are so Maui and that we're so proud of. So don't forget, MadeInMauiCountyFestival.com is the website. They will be up year-round. Don't forget to think of them for every holiday occasion, and we'll be letting you know about different things coming up throughout the year in social media. And then I just also wanted to tell you that we have a big thing coming up today, and it's something that's been in the works for quite some period of time. You know, we all know that we're seeing environmental challenges. We're seeing changing weather conditions and patterns. We've known a long time about sand erosion and erosion along our coastal lines, big wave action. There's been some hardening at some places. We're now understanding that even in places where there's hardening, sometimes in areas the waves are still going underneath some of that hardening. And we're going to have to look at managed setbacks, and we're going to look at how we manage the whole situation and start moving properties back and addressing what's occurring. So this is a huge issue, and our planning department's been working on it. The Planning Commission's been working on it. Today, they're going to take up some bills that were revised by the Planning Department, and the Planning Commission is going to hear those today at 9 a.m. And there's red line bills that you can find on the county's website. You can look at the Planning Department's website and see this, and I know we're nearing 8 o'clock, so time is short. But if you are in a coastal area, you need to understand where the erosion control setback line is, and then beyond that, they're looking at another 40 foot for managed retreat. So there are many properties all across our island. There are the maps that are currently shown, which are state maps, don't show the entire island. So, for example, areas like Hana are not shown. Or the backside of the island, but they go from Kihei all the way, of course, to West Maui and some other areas. But this is going to be a huge issue, a huge environmental issue with an economic crisis attached to it as we look at how we address this looming issue. It's important for people to get involved, and what we're finding is that many businesses and individuals who own property along these lines, maybe know that this is coming, but they don't necessarily know that new rules are being proposed and heard today. So we want to encourage those who have shoreline property, whether it's for your business or for your home, if it's generational land. This is time to look up these different lines and understand the potential impacts. There's an amazing thing that you can click on to see the economic impacts of this challenge and to get educated and involved. Some of us are feeling a little behind the gun because I've been checking with some different organizations, and while we knew this was moving forward, I think during COVID some of it sort of moved forward in the background, and maybe many of us weren't aware of how close they were to coming up with some revised rules. But we're going to start by hearing those revised rules today. So if you have a business or a home along the coastline, or you're not sure...
Okay, Pam, we're about 20 seconds.
Oh, okay, thanks. So just check those coastal erosion lines, look up the county website, look up the new legislation, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. This will be an ongoing project that we work on, but thank you for joining us for Business Matters, and have a blessed day and a blessed Thanksgiving. Ahoy ho.